Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Wholesale Hotties, a place where ladies in real estate are talking about real estate. I'm your host and MC for the evening, Sharon Lee Smith, together with my lovely co-host, Donda Mullinex. Hey, Donda, how are you this week?
Great.
And one of my other lovely favorite co-hosts, Jennifer Stewart. Jennifer, nice to see you again. Monique will be in a little later. Our special guest today is my lovely friend, Amy Biernat. Amy, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. You're welcome. Amy, I understand that you have a lovely business that you work with your husband, which is, I'm sure, challenging at times because we all know how men are. But let's start at the beginning. How did you get into real estate?
Honestly, Brian started before I did. He was working his W-2 job, and I was a stay-at-home mom at the time. And we had moved to Mississippi in 2015, September 2015. February 2016, he was diagnosed with cancer. And so that, that change starts changing your perspective on things, starts making you think a little bit. And so he got through that well and is well today. And then in 2000, and then February, I'm sorry, that was February 2015 and then 2016. And then July 2016, I was riding my bike. I was cycling on the Natchez Trace, which is a federal road, which means it goes from Tennessee all the way down to the bottom of Mississippi. And it's very well-known road for cyclers to ride on. But I was riding, and I did that religiously every morning for about 2 hours. And I was hit by a car from behind.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
So that, again, another incident that that just really, rocked our world. Really got us thinking, like, what do we need to do to make sure that we are really looking out for each other? Because he had something that, if something were to happen to him, what would I have left? Like, what would I have? And then something happened to me, and we started thinking, if something happened to me, what would he have? So that really got us thinking about our future with each other, but also what happens without each other.
In general,
like, what do we have? Our kids at that time, we had one in college, we had two still at home. And so we, that's a thought. Like, both of us could have been widows at an early age. Really. I was 43 at the time. And so that was young.
Yeah.
And so we've always been kind of the entrepreneur spirit. We always wanted to have something that we could, do, something that we could do on the side more than anything else. He still has W-2. I went to school. I had a counseling degree with a emphasis in drug dependency. And then I also had an associate's degree in accounting. And so those don't go together well, but they actually went together really well. It worked out really well.
That's fair.
So I did, today you can still use that counseling degree no matter what you do.
Yes.
It works well in the business. Let me just tell you.
Marketing, tenant screening.
Exactly. It's amazing how you can read people really well. But the bookkeeping side, I actually did work from home for several years doing that until 2008 hit, because I had all contractors when I was doing my bookkeeping business. That's what I had. And so I lost all of them. I saw it coming. It's amazing how I saw it coming, not realizing really what was coming, because I was on the bookkeeping side. I really didn't pay attention to the real estate market, but yet I saw it coming whenever it was coming, because I looked at their books every month.
Numbers,
I was keeping up with that. Yeah. So anyway, I lost all of them at that time. It was kind of sad. It was really sad though, because I saw them have to go get a W-2 job that they did not want to go get, because they were.
Yeah, I'd rather gouge my eyes out with a spoon than have a W-2 job.
Same here. I am not. I would be a terrible employee at this point because what I want to do
totally unemployable.
going to your job every day.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to 2016, Brian started watching podcasts and listening to real estate. I don't even know where he went, I'll be honest with you, because I wasn't really paying attention because it wasn't my thought process more. It was more his.
Yeah.
So he started listening to stuff. And so he came across wholesaling. And so we got into that. We drove into that. While he was at work, I was driving for dollars and getting addresses. And I'd go home and then I would get all their information. I'd go online, I'd get all their information. And at night he would start calling them. Because at that point I was like, I don't need to call them. You can do that. What you want to do is not what I want to do.
Yeah.
And so eventually it got to where we had so many names and numbers and everything that we both started calling because it's at that point, it got to so much. And so I would start calling them too. And then we didn't do our first deal. It took us 9 months to get our first deal after all of that driving.
Typical, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot, which was great because once we started, they started coming around at that point. And then we started doing some postcards and marketing and stuff like that. But then once we started to figure out you can do other things like fix and flip and all these other things. So we started, getting it. And I was actually, because he was still working. So I would be doing the fix and flipping part. That's when I found out I really did not like working with contractors because we didn't have good ones.
Yeah.
We didn't have good ones because we were new and nobody was sharing. Nobody wanted to share theirs, of course. So we didn't. That's when I was like, I don't like myself with these people because I had men that did not respect me. I had men that would not listen as part of respect, would not listen to what I asked for, and they would do their own thing. And it was very hard. After the third house with this one gentleman, I was like, I'm done because I can't do this.
Yeah.
So it was not enjoyable and I'm not doing something I don't like.
Right.
So I was done with that. I was like, I'm done. You can do this because if that's what we're going to do, I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
And so we moved on to, that's when Brian started listening to a podcast about short-term rentals. And he said, why don't you listen to this one? And I said, okay. And so I was like 15, 20 minutes in and I was like, I can do that. I can do. Because I felt like just that was hospitality. And I worked in hospitality. I liked hospitality. Growing up in high school and college, I worked at a hospital. I loved it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed being around people. I enjoyed serving. Yes. And so that's serving. And I was like, okay, that's more along what I like to do. And it wasn't even about designing a house. I could care less on it. Honestly, I just, that is not what pleases me. That does not do it for me.
Right.
It's more about, providing a nice place for people. And so that's what got my attention. And so we started with arbitrage, which, have a master lease with a landlord. Mm-hmm. And you have the right to sublet that property to Airbnb, Vrbo, your website, whatever you choose, Google Vacations, whatever you choose. And so that's what we started doing. And that's where we grew fast because we did that without having to have all the, having to buy properties because it's, that's takes a lot of capital to do that if you don't know how to do it right.
Yeah. How easy was it to find the places to rent, the arbitrage?
This was 2019. And what's interesting is at that point, Jackson, Mississippi, there wasn't a lot of it going on. And so we found landlords very easy that were very happy about that. And I don't know if that was just us and the Lord saying, here's a blessing to you, but we had no trouble doing that.
That's awesome.
I don't know if it's because there wasn't a lot of people asking or what. I don't know, because we had no problems doing that. And I know some areas people say it was horrible for them, but for us, it was not a problem.
Was the rental market, just thinking outside the box, was the regular rental market in that time frame kind of down? And I wonder if I wonder if the proposal of this guy's
at at that point, our area, short-term rentals in Jackson, Mississippi, there was maybe 250 in Jackson alone. Now there's outskirts, but there weren't that many in total in that area. Now there's over 500 in our area. So that tells you that at that point they were low. So it wasn't like everybody was complaining because there's so many and, it's taking up the rental market, blah, blah, blah. So that I think that made a difference too. But also we approached landlords in a way that I think helped too. We approached them and told them, we will be your best tenant. We will pay you on the 30th of every month, not the first. We'll pay you on the 30th. We'll pay you early. Your properties are going to be professionally cleaned every time someone leaves. The landscaping, depending on the landlord, because someone might do their own landscaping, but the landscaping will be taken care of every 2 weeks on the date. Like we're not gonna hold off on that. Like we have to, because our business relies on that. So we really honed in on taking care of their property and making sure that they understood that we had to do this. And so they watched us. They definitely watched us, and then they realized they really meant what they said.
Yeah.
And so we were very careful on who we let come in, as far as we kept our pricing up a little higher, so that way we wouldn't get crazy in. Yeah. And we've had good experiences, and so they watched that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we started out with 4 immediately. So Brian and I said, we're going to go try to find some, right? We went to Zillow. That's where we went, because where else do you go to find a rental but Zillow, right?
Yeah.
So we went to Zillow, and he found a lady who had a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. And I went out and found a guy who had duplexes, and he offered 3 leases. And I said, yes. I was like, I'll take whatever you got. And I said, yes. And so we came together not knowing this. And we came together and said, hey. And he was like, what? You got 3 of them? I'm like, yeah. But
I win.
Yeah, I know, right?
Now you got to furnish them. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. But and that was the thing too, is how are we going to furnish these? And I was like, we have a credit card that has a $10,000, 0% interest for 12 months. That's how we're going to furnish it.
Yeah.
I'm like, you do what you got to do. So, and of course, I'm the risk taker, of course. And Brian's going, oh, gosh, what if we can't pay that off in 12 months? Like, what do we do? I'm like, well, we start doing what we got to do. Just do what you got to do. That's how I am. I'm just like, we're going to do what we got to do. So anyway, within days of putting all these properties on Airbnb, we started getting bookings immediately. I was shocked, because I'm thinking it could take a little while for this to start rolling, right? No, it hit hard. And back then, a 1-bedroom you could furnish for $3,000. It was great. You can't do that now. So it was wonderful, because that's what we did. We just furnished these things off Marketplace or wherever we could find, decent stuff that, we've now updated some of these, and but money went further, which was nice.
Yeah.
So
that helped a lot.
Did you guys decide to start buying so you could get more of the tax benefits and stuff versus for renting?
So actually, we did arbitrage for the first 3 years. And we didn't buy our first one until 2022 or 23. Might have been 23. So we didn't start buying for a while. What happened is we got like 8 arbitrage. And then then investors started kind of noticing, as we were talking, we've talked to people all the time. Investors around us started noticing what we were doing. And so we had investors actually approach us saying, hey, I have a property. Would you manage it? And we're like, yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? So now today we have 17 not 17 investors, probably about 12 investors. I don't know how many, I'll be honest with you, because they have multiple properties. So we have 12 investors that we manage for. They have 17 properties total. And then the other, what's got to be more than that now? We have 30 properties that we manage now.
Wow.
And I'd say probably 18 or 19 investors out of that. And we have 7 that are arbitrage, 2 that we own, and the rest of them are investors. Calculate that.
You're managing.
You know, I have to get a calculator out for that, right? 1 plus 2, that's 9 hours minus 30. So that's 21 and 21 that we manage. Yeah. Because I just treat them like my own.
Yeah.
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 I can't hear you, Jennifer.
I can't
It's like
either.
you're muted. It's like you're muted.
No.
No. Uh-oh.
Go and come back.
Leave and come back.
Yep.
Oh no.
We've had it happen a couple of times. Not just her. It's happened to me and all of us. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Once in a while. Once in a while.
Okay.
I noticed that she had cut out during the
Oh,
countdown,
okay.
and then it ended up rejoining. So
Okay.
anyway,
Yeah.
she'll come back.
Yeah.
What were we saying? What was I saying? I got distracted.
Well,
So anyway, yeah. So I mean, we don't differentiate. Like literally, we don't sit there and say, okay, well, this is so and so's and this is ours, or we don't.
You
We
manage it the
don't.
same way.
We totally manage them as if they're all our own. And it's interesting because I even have people think that, well, do you, like, if someone comes to you and needs a place, do you look at your own first? And I don't. Like,
Yeah.
it just depends on what the need is.
Yeah.
Right. You just
So
want
you
to fill those houses.
I don't, yeah. And I mean, I have more of a desire to want to make sure theirs are filled before my own, honestly. But at the same time, I don't differentiate. It just, the need dictates the property. It really does.
Right.
That makes
Location.
sense.
The location.
Yeah. Location is a biggie. Yeah.
And how many people?
And size.
Yep, size. Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Jennifer, can we hear you now?
Yeah.
I think you can.
Oh,
I tested
Yay!
Yeah.
for that. Amy, I'm curious, what software did you guys use at first, maybe? And then did you end up choosing different software later as you built up volume?
Oh, good question.
So, yeah, very good question. When we first began, I just integrated Airbnb and Vrbo together. And I hope to God not to get a double booking, because every now and then they would come apart. That was the scariest. It happened once or twice. I remember that. That's horrible. Like, that's your nightmare when you're first starting, like, for that to happen. But once we got to 18, which was way too far, I should have never let it get to 18 to start. We went with owner res. And at that point, that's what I was afraid of, my dogs. At that point, owner res, you had to, it was email back and forth every day. They'd give you homework and you had to do the homework. And then they would teach you how to integrate, like how to set their system. It took over like a month and a half to finally get that done. They don't do that now. They do not do that now. And thankful that, I mean, but at the same time, I learned their system. I mean, I know the back end, I know the front end, I know everything about their system. Yeah. So in a way, it was kind of good the way we did it, but now they do it all for you, which is great. I mean, it was tedious. And it depended on me, because if I didn't do the homework, then like a day or two would go by that I could get to it. Because some days were busier than others. You just can't get to everything all the time.
Right. Yeah.
It took longer. That's why it took a month and a half, because it was dependent on me to get this stuff done.
Right.
So that's why it probably took a month and a half. It probably only take 3 weeks if I would have done it like bam, 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 everything that they said. But it just took me longer to get it done because of me.
Right.
But again, I had 18 properties, and I should have never gone that far.
Well, and you're juggling husband, you're juggling mom life, and you're doing all that.
Well, also, this is community corporate housing. We also have Biernat Investments that does the other part of the real estate, which is still fixing and flipping. We used to buy property, selling it on the market. We're doing everything else still, doing that side too. And my husband didn't quit his job until October of 2021. So by then we had probably close to 18 properties.
Yeah.
If not more.
Nice.
I don't know how many we had.
What type of margins do you look for? Like, what's the range of percentage of profit that you would expect? And if that's too private, but I mean, like, for example, with the DSCR, it needs to be a 1.2. Is there a certain threshold of profit that you look for that you would recommend the audience not go below? So I think this will answer your question. So if we don't do 1 bedrooms anymore. I'll be honest with you. We don't even look for them. We don't even want them. Even 2 bedrooms, we don't really look for either.
3 bedrooms up make more of a profit. So that's what we look for. But if you're doing a 1 bedroom, the minimum we want to make on a 1 bedroom is $600. But even that's low. I'll be honest with you.
And that's per month.
Per month. Yes. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yes. So on a 2 bedroom, 1,500. A 3 bedroom is 2,000. A little higher sometimes. It just depends on the property. It depends on a 2 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 1 bath, 2 bedroom, 2 bath. That makes a difference. A 3 bedroom and 3 bedroom, I'd say closer to 2,500, and then 4 bedroom and up, just go.
Yeah.
Just, I mean,
is that gross you're talking?
yes.
Okay.
No, I'm talking net.
That's net. Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking net.
And is
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
for midterm or short term for those?
It's all, we don't differentiate, I'll be honest with you. So on a midterm, we actually make less than we do in the short term.
Yeah.
Because we actually offer a discounted price for the midterm because they're staying longer.
Right.
Right.
So
Right,
we
right.
actually make more on the short term. If, someone comes in on Airbnb, even if they're staying for 3 months, Airbnb price is going to be up because we use price labs, which dictates our price. And so it goes
Okay.
up and down depending on what's going on in the area. But I set the standard. I set the low. I set the low, medium, and high on there. And it just, price labs dictates that price. And so Thanksgiving, it shoots up. Whereas if they're staying a midterm, it's going to keep it straight all the way across.
Mm-hmm.
Like a 3 bedroom is going to be 4,500. Probably 4,800 now. We were actually raised the prices, but 4,800 all the way across. Whereas someone comes from Airbnb, it's going to go up to 5,000. Like, depending on, it's going to raise that price up to 5,500 for the month because of the stuff that's going on in the area, or Thanksgiving, or
Right.
holiday type situations.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So it just depends on what's going on.
Interesting.
So do you guys find that you put like bunk beds in there or hide beds to make butts? I know the rules, butts in beds. The more butts you can get in beds.
Yeah, I am not that person. I have a friend who does that. She'll put 12 people in a 2 bedroom. I'm like, whoa, no, I don't do that. I don't like, if it's a 4 bedroom, I do 8. If it's a 3 bedroom, I do 6. I don't like to stack people in because just what it does to your property, the damage that comes in with that. I've seen that. Yes. I've seen it. I mean, we do a security hold. We have an owner res. You can do an agreement, a rental agreement, which they have to sign before everybody has to do this, no matter if they come on Airbnb, Vrbo, Google Vacations, website, anywhere they come, because we have a website, anywhere they come, they have to do a rental agreement. We also take a security hold. So if it's a 1 bedroom, it's 100, 2 bedroom, 200, 3 bedroom and up, it's 300. Now, we can still, if it's Airbnb, if it's higher than that, we can go after them for that, whatever. But, we do that. It seems to keep all the crazies at bay, which is great. So we don't get those, because I've had a couple people say, oh, I don't want to do that. And I'm like, well, you can't stay. And I've had some people say, well, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to back out. I'm going to cancel. I'm like, that's fine. Because I don't want you if you can't do that. Because there's a reason why you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm okay with that. But if I lose that booking, somebody else always comes anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that.
It's not worth losing out on having to shut it down because now you got to go and do a bunch of repairs or something.
Exactly. You pay in the long run.
Mhm.
Yes. And then for our midterms, we have where they have like a $2,000 deposit because they're coming for 6 months plus. Sometimes we've had someone stay for a year. We have a couple people stay for a year, building a house, had a house fire, just all these different situations where they've come for a year and we taken a $2,000 deposit. And so one person, we actually kept the whole 2,000 and probably need another $1,000 on top of that. But we made enough in the spread that it was okay. But at the same time, I mean, they just did some damage. It's like, but we started doing cleanings because of that. That taught us to do cleanings like every 3 months if they're coming for a long time.
Yeah.
And we also get eyes on because we do filter changes, HVAC filter changes. We do pest control every 3 months. That gets our eyes on anyway. But you don't really see it until you get in there cleaning it.
Yeah.
You don't really see the damage until you're actually walking through it and cleaning it.
Yeah.
And you said fire, which reminded me that I remember Brian Amy's husband talking to me about you guys getting really involved with being a resource for insurance companies.
Yeah.
Are you guys still doing that? And how were you able to kind of get that started?
Yeah,
So,
who do you contact?
So Brian took about a good year actually and went through and found all the, not all, but a lot of the insurance specialists, CRS, ALE, electricity, how you say that exactly. Some of the big names that do insurance stays or insurance specialists, or not stays, insurance specialists. And so what they do is the adjuster will tell the homeowner, hey, look, call these people. They will help you find a place. They will help you with finding it, helping you pay for it, helping you get through the process. And so he took about a year and just emailed them and called them and just contacted them and let them know we're in Jackson, Mississippi. This is our website, and this is who we are. We're here to help. And after about a year, we started actually getting the emails, because they don't really call. They like to email because they're busy, and in their subject they'll have Jackson, Mississippi, so that way they can go back and find you. Like they'll look up Jackson, Mississippi. And so that took a good year though for him doing that.
Good for you,
but it
guys.
paid off.
That's really awesome.
It paid off. Yes. And so that's all you do, honestly. Yes.
The fortune's in the follow-up, ladies.
Let me just tell you, it's and a lot of people might give up, but continuing to do, and he's still today, every week, once a week, he sends out an email to all the same people and anybody else who we get a phone call from or an email from saying, do you have a property? Even if it's, sometimes they get them and say they're in Minnesota and they're looking in Minnesota, but they don't realize we're in Jackson for some weird reason. We get like the wrong email. We're like, oh, there's a contact, because none of these people are in our state. They're all over the place. Like they're in Arizona, they're in Illinois, they're all over, but they still have people that need places in Jackson, Mississippi.
Absolutely.
And so we still, no matter if they're a wrong contact, an accidental contact, whatever, we still save their information and send it to them once a week. We're here. This is what we have available. He'll give them the address, how much it's going to be, the availability. This is when it's available. Of a lot of, of anything that's available. We don't send them all of our properties, but just what's available. That way they know we're here. Just something to keep them fresh in mind that Jackson, Mississippi has availability. And this is who we are. Yeah.
So Amy, is that your main focus? Is your husband and wife team that you're doing more of the rentals, the short-term rentals, then your husband is doing more of the fix and flips? Or do you guys?
So yes, he is definitely doing more of that.
Okay.
I'm okay with that. He's definitely doing more of that. I do more of this, and I actually have hired someone to do our customer service, to do our back end on OwnerRez, to do all of that. So I do all of our bookkeeping. I do all of our I run around to every property. I check on it. I do any light maintenance. I don't mind doing. See, this stuff, I actually enjoy doing this stuff. I know people are like, ooh, but I actually like it. And then, but I also help him on the end of the properties. I help pick out colors now. He started out that I'm like, please let me do that. I help him on that end. I do the help doing final walkthroughs, because he's been seeing these properties every day. Yeah. Once once you see something every day, you don't see things anymore. It's always like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just like my cleaners and I have runners also that run to properties. They stock the cleaner's closet. They check after the cleanings. They see things that I don't always see, because I've seen these properties so many times.
Right.
It's easy to miss stuff. And so it's good to have fresh eyes on things. Absolutely. And so we all help each other out, by doing stuff like that. So we do mix. We do mix with each other, because he's technical too. And so he does a technical side of the short-term, mid-term rentals, that stuff I don't want to do because it's technical and I don't know anything about that stuff.
What's the farthest distance you guys have properties that you'll manage?
So we don't want to manage from a distance, honestly, but we do have some in Florida. We have 2 in Florida, and it's because we have a good friend that we couldn't say no to.
But other than those, they're typically within you can go there
within 35 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh. And I'm comfortable. I'm very comfortable with that. And even the ones in Florida, I mean, it's an hour and a half from where my mom lives. So I've I've been down there with my mom. I've driven over. And I have a great cleaner there. Her husband's a maintenance guy. I mean, gosh, it was a great pairing. And I just found her by going on Airbnb and asking somebody who had great reviews, who do you use for your cleaning? I just messaged him and said, who do you use? And she shared. I was like, thank you. This is great. But I don't really want to move out of my area. I had stress about it. I was approached by somebody and I had such great stress. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to do it. The stress is too high. Yeah. And I'm going on 54 years old. I don't want to be stressed out anymore than I have to be. And so, yeah, it's not worth waking up at night wondering what's going on and if it's going to be okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's just money would have been great, but it's just not worth it.
No, yeah, that hustle.
Sounds like you guys are making enough to where, like I know for me, there's a threshold and how much more. If I make more, is it actually going to make me happier, or is it just adding stress to my life, right? And so maybe that too.
Yeah, I mean, we had up to 33 properties a couple of years ago, and but also my biggest thing too is, and Brian, I've had this discussion, is that I don't want to take on any investors that are going to add more stress either. Like the investors we have now, I love them. They know their lane, we know our lane, and we all stick to it. I don't hear from them. I give them a report, and I pay them ACH the 10th of every month. And it's a beautiful relationship, and they know that I'm doing the best I can with what I've got, like with the economy that we have, with everything in me. I am doing the best I can. They know that. They don't question me to say, are you sure your pricing is right? Are you sure? They're not asking me questions.
That's good.
Thank God, because I am like I do. I mean, I go to Price Labs every day to make sure I'm where I'm supposed to be on these properties. Every single day I go to Price Labs and make sure, like I am 100%, trying to make sure that these things are where they're supposed to be. And my investors don't question me. And I'm so happy. I mean, we have one that I don't ever hear from. Like, I haven't heard from since I took his property, because he's getting his money. I think he's happy. You know what I mean? And that's, and even if he's not, like, he didn't get money for the first 3 months we had it, because he knew it was going to take some time to get it going, because it was kind of a little different, because it was a 1 month minimum because of the situation of his house, where it was at and everything. It was a 1 month, it's 30 day minimum, I should say. Sorry.
Right.
30 day. And he knew that. So he knew that going in, it was going to take a little bit, and he didn't get upset. He was just like, okay, you guys know what you're doing. I was like, thank you. I mean, not everybody has that perspective.
So true.
Right.
So, And so the investors we have, I cannot complain. I cannot complain, because all of them have been super. And I don't want to take on anybody who's going to be micromanaging me, because I don't do well with that.
Is that what made you go from 33 and then down some? Yeah, because they were micromanaging you too much.
I just felt like we weren't on the same page, maybe morally, and I don't want to do that. Yeah, Brian and I have built a good name, and I don't ever want to hurt that, and that's important. You all know that in this business, your name is everything, and if you jeopardize that, then it can just tear you up to where you have nothing.
Leagues you can play in if your name does get torn up, but I don't want to play in those leagues. It's a league of snakes, and I want to where the good people are. And I know that if I want to be where the good people are, I need to be a good person, because I don't want to go play in the league of snakes with snakes.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, and that's exactly where some of these people were. And I was like, no, I didn't know that. Like when we started with them, you know what I mean? I would not have done that, and it just didn't. It was like pulling teeth to get them to do something for their property, and I'm like, I just don't want to do that. Like, if I need you to repair something, I need it repaired.
Right. Yeah.
I just not how this business works. So, and that's just how the short term, midterm properties, you have to keep them 100%. You have to keep them as best as you possibly can. And if you don't have a landlord or an investor who's willing to do that, then it won't work. It won't work.
Yeah, so you don't want to work with those slumlords. You're like, no.
Yeah, exactly right. So if you're arbitraging with something like that, it's not going to work. So you have to pick the right person for the landlord for that too.
Yeah.
Did you make a
I'm hoping.
contract to ensure, like, is it in your contract, like, hey, there's a certain threshold where this is the expectation?
Yes. So on the arbitrage, we did have it in there that if it was under a certain amount of maintenance, that we would just take care of it. But if it was over something, and if it was major, like, HVAC or whatever, then they would have to definitely cover it. And so ours did not have a problem with anything that we put in there. They didn't red tape and red mark up our lease. I think the one gentleman actually had us use his lease, but we kind of put some stuff in there to match what we wanted, and it worked out perfectly. So it wasn't a problem. It wasn't a problem at all. So
Awesome.
yeah,
What
it just
was
made him feel better.
What was your repair minimum? Like if it was like 250 and under?
Yeah, I think it was actually 150. It was really low, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, he was that guy. I mean, all of them have been very good that they want to keep their properties up. They don't want them to go bad. So the one guy that we started with, he wasn't one of the first guys, but later on we got with another guy that we had two off the bat. It was side by side duplexes. It was duplex side by side, and he had a puppy mill in one of them before us. So he was dying to get somebody to take good care of his property. So when we met with him, he was like, yes, like, I love what you're doing. Because he literally had a puppy mill in one of his duplexes. I can't even imagine. So he had just got done dealing with that. So he was thankful, like, oh my gosh, please take care of my properties. But then we had those two, and he came to us and said, would you like another one? We're like, yeah. And so we had a 2-bedroom house, and the area it's one of our best properties. Like, it does the best in the area because it's right by the water. And then he had another one across the street. And we're like, yes. So he's come to us several times, and we're like, yes, because he's got great property. The areas, I mean, they do the best. The properties are the best area. So we're like, yes. Like, yeah,
my arm.
It's a win for you guys and for him. Now he knows he can still have that business and that home for his retirement, however long he wants to keep it. And yet in the meantime,
and thing is, he's not a true landlord. He's an accountant who happens to have properties. He's not even a landlord.
See, and now it's like truly passive income for him because he really has this thing, and you guys do all the work, and he just gets the check.
And we have all the contractors. He doesn't even have to find a contractor. We're like, we have a guy that can do that. He's like, great, you just do that. We're like, okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's worked out well. That's awesome. Yeah.
So these midterm rentals and the arbitrages and stuff, are you doing co-living on those, or are those different properties?
So the co-living didn't start till 2023. We bought a mobile home. Because what happened is we went in 2023, went to John Morey's event in September.
Yeah.
And Lisa Cordner, I think, Jennifer, were you there? Lisa Cordner spoke in 2023 at his event.
I went to, what was it? Well, you were there at the event with Tom Olson there in 2023. And then, but I think John Morey's event was really close or something like that.
It was, yeah, they're always really close together time-wise. Yeah. So in 23, in September, we went to John Morey's event, Southern Charm. I can't remember the name of it. Southern Charm. Yeah, and Lisa Cordner and her husband were there, and they spoke on co-living. And we were like zoned in when she was talking about it.
Oh yeah.
And we couldn't believe the numbers she was getting for just the property she had. I don't remember how many she had at the time, but now she has, I don't know how many beds she has. I don't even know. I'm not even going to guess. But she's done well. She's done very well, and she's added quite a few. But we asked her so many questions. Well, we just were glued to her when we were there, and she was so gracious to us to answer everything all the questions. And then afterwards we were texting, Brian was texting her, I was talking to her. I mean, we were just, that's when we said, we have land out. It's not really a mobile home park because there's actually houses there too. So it's kind of a hodgepodge park, but at the same time, it would allow it. And so we were like, we're going to do this. So our first one it was a mobile home that we converted from a 5-bedroom, 3-bath to a 6-bedroom, 3-bath. We took the dining room and closed it in and made another bedroom. And that was our first one. And We've had it for just over a year, and it's done well. It's been making money. It took a little bit to get it started because it's a rural area. It's in Florence, which is about 20 minutes outside of Jackson, but it's done very well. We're making money every month. So I mean, that was our first to get started, and we thought, well, if we can do it in a mobile home, we could probably do it anywhere. That was our thinking. Rural too. I mean, it's not like it's out in the middle of everything. It's kind of off the beat. It's not off the beat. It's by a main road that comes into Jackson, but it's not by major shopping or major
industrial
work areas. So we thought, okay, people are willing to drive in, then this is great because there's not a lot of co-living areas in Jackson right now. We have 3 right now. And there's one other one in South Jackson. And I thought, oh gosh, I wouldn't stay in South Jackson. So we're really a good option for these people because we're in Florence and North Jackson. So that's good. And then we're actually rehabbing that property right now that's almost finished. And so that'll be our 4th one. So, and then the one that we don't have it on pad split right now. It's a 7-bedroom, 3-bath. And that one actually we haven't really put on pad split. We kept it off because we have a lot of business that come in and they rent it out, and it's done better than putting on pad split right now. So the other ones are on pad split, which is like Airbnb to furnished rental. So we have 3 of them, 2 of them on pad split right now. The one that's not, it's a rehab still, so it's not ready yet. And then we have a 4th one that's a 7-bedroom, 3-bath. That we've just been running out to businesses. We have not put on pad split yet.
Yeah.
Because it's just done so well by itself so far. So it's an option to put on there. We just haven't done it.
Yeah. So with the 7-bedroom, how are you renting it out to businesses?
So we have it on Zillow. And people find it on Zillow. All of our properties, by the way, are on Zillow. All of them. And it's on Zillow as the midterm price. So that way businesses can find us, insurance specialists can find us because they go to Zillow first. They don't look anywhere else but Zillow first.
Oh yeah.
Even if you're in their system, they go to Zillow first, which I never understand, but they still go to Zillow first. Yeah.
That's a good tip. Yeah.
So if you want to do that, like I put a picture, the main picture is your best picture, and I put furnished. And then I put the midterm price, which for us, a 3-bedroom is about $4,800. And then I put all the midterm, like $2,000 security hold, $500 cleaning fee. If you have a pet fee, if you have that, I mean, you can go up to like $750 a month or $750, whatever you want to do for your pet fee. That's up to you. Or you can just do a pet rent. I mean, you can make it a monthly fee. I know Tom Ely does that in Memphis. He does a pet rent. He gets it too. So I haven't done that yet, but it's an option.
We just do a flat, non-refundable fee for the pet.
I usually do that too, but that pet rent's interesting. He does good with that. Yeah. There's a lot of options there.
Yeah, and I guess you could do both, a smaller, like non-refundable fee, and then the monthly fee.
You can. Yeah. There's a lot of options with that.
Yeah.
He makes good money on that.
Rules for your co-living, like men only or one's women only?
We don't do that. We have it mixed and we haven't had any issues with that. I just have no guests allowed and no overnight guests allowed.
Yeah.
Now, I've had some people break that and we've had a talk because no, you can't do that. And it's a violation. So they can be forced to leave if they do it again. So there's a reason for that. Like we had one where a guy had his daughter stay the night because she was visiting. It's his daughter, and I'm like, no, I can't protect your daughter.
Right.
I'm not comfortable with that. I can't protect your daughter from anybody else in that house, and I will not be liable for that. So I make a very serious, conversation about that. I don't play around with that, especially with children. I do not like that.
Yeah.
So.
Go rent a hotel room for a couple nights and take her swimming and play at the hotel.
I know. I'm like, this is not a game to me. So I'm like, do not violate the rules. They're there for a reason.
Do you have a camera within side of those, like the kitchen?
We have a camera on the front and the back. I don't have any inside. I don't do the inside cameras. I just feel like, I don't know if I'd like that if I lived there. People watching me inside. I just don't know. I haven't felt forced to do that.
Like somebody's stealing my food all the time or anything. You haven't had issues like that?
I haven't had any issue with that. No. We did have one guy that did get arrested someplace, and then he just stopped paying. We didn't know why. Found out he got arrested, and that's why. But I don't know what he did. So it wasn't at our house. It wasn't did anything to do with our place. He did something somewhere. So I'm like, okay. When the guy staying in the house said, I found out he got arrested. I'm like, well, that's why he stopped paying. He's nowhere to be found.
Wanda, was it you who had the Golden Girls co-living?
No,
Yeah, that's what
I haven't heard of that.
I was talking about doing Golden Girls here in Surprise at our house that we just subtued, and it's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, and we're like, this would be a great home.
That would be awesome.
Open concept. They could quilt together or whatever. You know.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah,
that's great. I do like that. That's a good idea. I think I think that would be, I could see that being a really big need.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I
yeah.
really can.
Oh, yeah.
My dad passed. My mom talked about how lonely, especially in the evenings. And I have a friend that's going through divorce, and she's like, "I'm really lonely." And it's just if you want to go and be by yourself, you have your room because you don't put other people in there. And then if you want to go and do a craft or have a movie night or whatever, then you have friends right there.
Yeah, I think that's great. And it's not a nursing home, and it's not assisted living or anything.
No.
It's still a house that you feel like you're still very independent, and
exactly.
I like that. My mom is in that situation. My stepdad passed away in March, so I mean, she's in that situation where she doesn't know what she's going to do. Yeah, she doesn't want to come with us probably because we're probably too much for her. I don't know. She knows we're always going. She's like, "You're so busy," and I'm like, "I'm really not, but I am." So I don't know.
I mean, in generations past, the elderly would move in with the family, right?
Right,
and so they had companionship, and now it's just not happening anymore. And I think that is absolutely a great need, especially as the boomers are aging and that type of thing. So I think that is a great niche.
I think so. I do because my mom's still independent. I mean, she's not. Right. I mean, she's still taking great care of herself. I mean, she gets around great, so it's not like she's not, doing well.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Maybe I should tell her making a house for her and her buddies.
Right? Right?
Exactly.
Run out of your rooms. You don't like them, kick them out and get another one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We have a question from the audience. How are you going to handle Zillow's ban of private listings in 2026? I didn't know Zillow
Explain that. What is it? What's a private listing? I don't know what that would be. What would that?
I don't know.
Would that be?
I
haven't heard of that.
Is that a seller? A seller trying to?
I hadn't heard of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a picture and give it to Chat GPT.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Love it. I use Chat GPT. If I can say it. Jeez.
Right.
It's told you it's bedtime, isn't it?
I know. So tired.
But I use that for my listings.
Good. To help write stuff up, right?
To write it, to get my titles. I mean, it's great. Just saying. Yeah, if you're not using that for your business, use it for whatever you can.
So they're talking about a seller wanting to list it on Zillow. They used to do that where you could look for versus an agent listing it.
Oh, a FSBO.
A FSBO, right. How are you guys handling the ban? I didn't know they were going to ban private listings on 2026.
I didn't either, but I wouldn't do a FSBO anyway. Like, I think there's power for with using an agent to sell a house. I think that we
always do. We have 3 in the market right now with one of our real estate agents that we use a lot because she's really good, and I just don't want to do that anyway.
Yeah, no, it's just time you don't have that you need to be focusing on finding another property, doing another.
I mean, they're worth a percent and then some. Let's be honest. So
exactly.
And when you work with an agent on a regular basis, they usually give you a really good deal. Like,
she does more than does. I mean, she looks things up for us. She just does so much. She'll find properties for us that I mean,
exactly.
Once you have a great agent, you work with them.
listings are exempt: for sale by owner, new construction listed by builder, and rental listings, which is what we care about.
The rental.
Yeah, because on the rentals, on the furnished, the midterm furnished rentals, there's a thing on there that asks furnished, and you check it off. So it will list it furnished for you, like you check it off. So
Jennifer,
they don't mind that at all.
Zillow won't let the private people list the rentals either.
Yeah,
that's what it's sounding like.
Confusing because, you know, obviously I'm not sitting here studying it with full attention, right?
Sure.
But it was saying that there are exceptions for FSBO, but it was kind of saying something like, and I don't want to bore the public by reading here, but it says, if a home is publicly marketed, sign in yard, Facebook post, brokerage website listing, then it must appear in the local listing service, the MLS, and therefore be accessible via Zillow and its partner portals within 1 business days. So take that as you will. I mean, that's basically saying that if it's publicly marketed, as in there's a sign in the yard Facebook brokerage website listing, then it needs to also be on the MLS.
Interesting.
It has something to do with apparently an antitrust lawsuit, which I'm sure you guys know. Antitrust means they're going to try to break up a monopoly, basically. But I don't think Zillow is a monopoly because there's Redfin, there's Realtor.com. I mean, there's so many similar things. But whoever brought that up, thank you. Something for us to pay attention to, right?
Yeah. And so how are we going to handle it? Research some more and figure out how to handle it. Not sure, but thank you.
Talk to my real estate agent and see what I can do.
Right. And the rentals, though, you don't usually have a agent for rentals, so
most people don't. I mean, some of them do, but you don't need to typically.
That's
interesting.
That'll be interesting. Thanks for that tip. We'll definitely watching that. That's the thing, is we get to all learn together. Something new.
Doubt.
It's always keep each other free. Like without this community that we're in, we're not free. Because we all kind of need each other. It's such a team sport.
It's Ross. Tell Ross I said hi. This is Ross, by the way, Donda. I was wondering this XX.
Hi, Ross.
Hi, Ross. He's an agent here in Arizona. He sends us all kinds of listings and stuff. He's a great guy. So Right.
Well, cool. Oh my goodness. Ladies, we're almost at the end of the hour. What else do we have for Miss Amy here? So the one that isn't on pad split, your co-living, you said that you're getting have companies come, and so like the company comes and rents the whole thing and then puts their employees in individual. So what type of companies are you talking about? Like construction?
Usually it's construction. It usually is. So all we have in that is every bedroom has a full bed. So I get the Zenith metal bed frame. I get a mattress, usually the what are they called? The memory foam mattress. I get a encasement zippered around that thing, and then I do a one on top. I'm pretty about that. I cover them suckers, and then they get sheets and a quilt, and then a pillow protected, and then a pillow case, and then they get a nightstand and a lamp, and they get a closet, and that's all they get in their room. So it's not like it's furnished like an Airbnb. It's just not. So this house, that's all the bedrooms have in them. They bring their own stuff. They want to bring more, they can bring more, but that's what they get. So they don't get a lot of stuff because they're there working literally. These guys are working like 16-hour days. So it's not like they're coming in and hanging out in their room and whatever. Now this property does have, and most co-livings don't, but this one does have living room furniture because it does have a TV. Most co-livings, our other ones do not have a TV, does not have a living area, does not have a couch, but this one does, and couch and chairs. It has a dining area, dining table, dining chairs. All our other ones do have dining areas. This kitchen is fully furnished, whereas the other ones are not. because they are coming, they're going to eat, they're going to all that. And it has a pretty large kitchen, 2 trash cans, two fridges. All of our co-living has 2 refrigerators.
Wow.
So you can have room for all the, this one
Right.
holds 7 people. So it's got to have room for enough people and food and everything else to go with that. And space. It's got to have the space for everybody's stuff that they bring. It has laundry. Everybody has laundry. All of them do. Washer and dryer. And then it does have extra like storage, like extra shelving and things like that. So if they have food or they have laundry area, they have extra storage to put their stuff in. So, and this one has a garage, but it has one door that goes up and down. So they can't use the garage for a car, but they can use it for storage. And the businesses love that. They want to have room for whatever storage they're bringing stuff. I don't know what they're bringing. Every business is different, but sometimes they have tools. Sometimes they have just stuff, and they just love the garage for that reason. So that's a big bonus when they come.
Yeah.
So that helps a lot. And in the back, they always have grills. They like their grills. So they want to cook out. And so they have that back there. This one has like a gazebo in the back. They love it. So they get to sit outside and just chill a little bit, which is good. They love that part. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And of course, parking in the front, you have to have enough parking for at least 7 cars. So that was the property. That's what we look for in a property is we have to be able to make sure there's enough parking so where the neighbors aren't having a fit and everybody's happy. So we have the driveway and of course, additional gravel throughout the whole front for enough cars that can fit in there to have 7. And then when you are looking at a property, you got to make sure your ordinances fit this amount of people too.
Right.
Like we can have 8 to where 8 unrelated. Yeah, I said is in there. Unrelated individuals that can stay there.
Yeah.
So your ordinance have to fit what you're wanting to do.
Yeah.
And make sure you go where you're wanted. There's a opportunity up in another area. I just know that neighbors are going to have a fit. So it's like, why bother? Just don't even bother. So it's not even worth it. The house is wonderful. Everything will be perfect, but it's like, I'm not going to do it. Just not going to.
Is that why
phone calls?
It becomes a hassle when your neighbors start, reporting you to the city, and then you gotta, it's not
worth it. And then you're gonna have to pivot when you don't want to pivot.
Exactly.
You're gonna have to do something. I'm gonna have to sit around and sell it.
All your money and you're setting it up this way, and then
all
you're screwed.
furniture.
Yeah, no point. Yeah.
I already have a storage unit.
Yeah. Is that why you're using the pad split on the other ones, because they do have issues with how many people that are non-related in them? Okay.
These do not. I'm just using pad split because they'll do the background check. They'll do all the financials. I don't have to do any of that. So that's a bonus for me. I don't mind dealing with the people. I don't mind, going in and making sure because I have cleaners that can go clean it. We clean it every 6 weeks. We clean the common areas. We don't clean the bedrooms. We clean the common areas, and that's it. I have a cleaner that can do that. The turns, we can deal with that, but I just don't want to deal with the financials and the background checks. I want them to do all that for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also with the pad split, are you like, if they're responsible for the room, there's like a vacuum and mop and broom and that kind of stuff that they all have access to. Got it.
Yes. I provided all of that. That way there's no excuse.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Give no excuse.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow. That was some good information.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go
Amy,
with
thank
me.
you so much for coming on.
I know.
I really
Monique never got to ask anything. Is there anything
No,
else in there?
I know, Monique.
But you guys may have already answered them. So the last thing I want to do is make everybody put through that again. But I'm sorry I kept coming in and out. I was having some problems with the internet, and then couldn't hear sound, and then just phone was ringing, that sort of stuff. So
No worries. We're glad you joined us in the last minute.
Yeah.
Good to see you. All right. Well, Amy, thanks for coming on, and I hope you all have a lovely week. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sharon.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Hey.
Hey.
You're upside down. There you are.
About 10 minutes ago, I heard this loud crash downstairs. I'm going, oh no, what are the dogs into?
Oh, at your house, at your place? I didn't hear it. So,
oh boy,
that's funny. Uh-oh. Well, I saw Spencer, but I didn't see your other ones.